Hello everyone. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at an article from Breitbart that was published on December 4th, and it's written by Alana Mastrangelo. I butchered the shit out of that. Mastrangelo. Probably closer. SNL comedian Nimesh Patel kicked off Columbia University stage by offended students. Now, you gotta love this. They can't handle comedy. You would think this guy would get a clue when big names like Seinfeld and others won't go to college campuses that he should probably stay away. But he's figuring, oh, I'm left. They'll probably like what I gotta say. No, easily triggered. So let's get into the article here. Saturday Night Live writer and comedian Nimesh Patel was kicked off stage by Columbia University students on Friday night halfway through his performance because students found his jokes offensive. No, they found one joke in particular offensive. And they didn't like it too much. And the funny thing is they don't really understand that by getting offended about what they did, they are literally countering one of their claims, which we're gonna get into in a minute here. It's fucking hilarious. Patel's comedy skit was cut short after the students who organized the event interrupted him and demanded that he end his performance early. The students got on stage, took the comedian's microphone, and denounced his jokes in front of the audience, as first reported by the Columbia Spectator. Now, that's pretty bad. When they're running up onto the stage and they're going, we denounce, and doing stupid shit, you know we're in a day and age where these idiots and assholes who think they're entitled to be able to dictate what others can say, you know, when we're in an environment like that, society's going down the toilet. It really is. The event was called Culture Shock Reclaim, a charity performance showcase hosted by the university's Asian American Alliance. The goal of the event was to provide a platform for diversity of Asian American artistic expression, as well as seeking to break through stereotypes and challenges. Yeah, I see no problems with that, and his joke actually had nothing to do going against these things. But, you know, hey, what can you do? According to the Columbia Spectator members... According to the Columbia Spectator, members of the student group found Patel's skit offensive, specifically when the comedian joked that being gay cannot be a choice, adding that if a man is both black and gay, no one looks in the mirror and thinks, this black thing is too easy, let me just add another thing to it. Now that's actually kind of funny. I mean, it really is. And, So, you know, he cracks a joke like that, and they get offended about the fact that he said that being gay is not a choice. That's what they took offense with. So, by doing that, they're basically saying that, hey, let's open up Pence reorientation camps. They really are. It's so fucked up. Like, the stupidest shit sets them off, and they don't realize that they're literally countering, like, their stance when they get offended by it. It's freaking hilarious. It's just... When told to leave, the comedian protested, explaining that his performance was simply familiarizing students with the real world. The student organizers, however, remained insistent that Patel end his skit. Yeah, because they were easily fucking triggered. And they don't realize that being triggered about stupid shit is not going to get them anywhere in the real world. See, they deal with a real-world situation which wasn't even offensive, but somehow it was to them by stating the fact that, or at least, not a fact, but a belief that's now being backed up by science. At least in not necessarily all cases, but there is a biological component to homosexuality. So, I mean, when you have that going on, by him saying that, and these people not being able to handle that, it goes to show that they need to toughen up. They need to grow a thicker skin. They need to realize that the real world does not operate like that. And no matter what they do, they're not going to force people to act the way that they want them to act. It will not happen. They don't grasp this. I mean, this is fucked up when they're like, they insisted Patel end his skit. I mean, that's goes to show that parents failed as parents these days. We deeply apologize for inviting Patel in the first place and bringing these comments into a space for inclusion and acceptance. How is that not about inclusion and acceptance? He's stating something that a black gay man could definitely associate with, but yet the Asian American people are taking an issue with this. Maybe they should go back to their Asian countries and be introduced to their not give a shit, fuck you, we're not going to be politically correct environments, and see what happens to them pulling the shit that they did here. It would not fly at all. It would not go over at all. It definitely wouldn't. But so they posted the student group posted this to its Facebook page following the event. We apologize for the hurt in his words caused by members to the community. If someone got hurt by something like that, then they're not fucking gay. It's that simple. I hate to be a dick, but if you take issue with someone saying that being gay is biological because you're gay or whatever reason, then you're not really fucking gay. That's the bottom line. Pardon how I put this, but you're not. Because it's not a choice. Unless you want to go to a Pence fucking reorientation camp. Because that's the only fucking way you idiots and assholes who are offended by this, that claim you're gay, are gonna, it's the only way that you are gonna prove that it's offensive, because then you're showing it's a fucking choice. I hate to break it to you, but that's the truth of the matter. The student group added that members were still processing what happened. If you have to process that like you were in a fucking traumatic event, Jesus fucking Christ, you need to be checked into a padded room Hilton, and the key should be thrown away, because you will never be able to handle the real world. A few students who attended the event told PJ Media that audience members did not boo or shout during Patel's performance, and therefore they felt that ending the event early was unsolicited. Well, yes, because someone in the group got triggered, and that usually leads to more than one person getting triggered, because that one first person causes a cascade effect. I was very surprised. Either that means I'm not as sensitive as I should be, or the whole thing was just as dramatic, said one student. Well, to be honest, I agree with them on that. I mean, you're either not as sensitive as you should be, or the whole thing was just dramatic. And I'm going to go with the just dramatic. Not all students felt the same way, though. Well, of course not, because you got the leftists, and the leftists, no, the stuff that just sets them off these days. I really dislike when people who are older say that our generation needs to be exposed to the real world, said another student, Sophia Zhao, to the Colombian Spectator. Obviously, the world is not a safe space, but just accepting that it's not and continuing to perpetuate the unsafeness of it is saying that it can't be changed. Well, you know what? It can't be changed, you dumb bitch. Because guess what? There's always going to be cocksuckers, assholes, and shitty people out there. No matter what. Okay? And they're not going to bow down and cater to you because your feelings, your fifis, it's just not going to happen. You know what? I'm a dick. But I'm not an asshole. Well, actually, no. How's that go? I'm an asshole, but I'm not a dick. Sorry, I had that ass backwards, okay? And guess what? Because I can see that you're so easily triggered, guess what I would be doing if I had the fucking chance? Every fucking second possible. I would trigger you until you grew a thicker skin, Sophia. Sorry, but that's how I would treat things. Because you know what? That's the environment I grew up in. Hell, my own grandmother had a mouth on her. You know, she loved fucking with people. You know, funny thing is that she took pleasure in fucking with the ones that she loved. And that was her way of showing it. Well, one of her ways of showing that she liked you or that she cared about you. And if I didn't grow up with her doing the shit that she did, I wouldn't be the strong person that I am when it comes to this stupid shit. I have a thick fucking skin. In part because of her and that. So, when older people tell you something that you don't like, they're usually telling you for your own good, and the fact that you don't fucking like it, that's a result that the truth hurt, of the truth hurting. Deal with that. When older generations say you need to stop being so sensitive, it's like undermining what our generation is trying to do and accepting others and making it safer, added Joe. Zhao. You know what, Zhao? Get bent. Because you know what? You ain't doing shit. And you need to stop being so sensitive. All of you were being coddled since you were small children. Because that was the way to be a good parent and how schools should treat the students and stuff like that. And guess what? It created fucking rejects like you. That says a lot. You do need to stop being so sensitive. And what is your generation trying to do besides get rid of free speech, get rid of firearms, basically wipe your asses with the Constitution in this country? What are you trying to do? I mean, you are literally pushing cultural Marxist crap that your professors forced down your fucking throats. Or actually, it was more like you were indoctrinated in and you more than willingly opened your mouths and they just shoved it in. And you're all too fucking dense and stupid on the left that are like Zhao here. You're all too fucking dense and stupid to realize that you're just fucking pawns. And that what you believe was instilled into you by others, and you don't think for yourselves. It seems as though it was not too long ago when the opposite was true. The younger generations were the ones calling for older generations to loosen the constraints on comedy. No shit. I mean, these are groups that claim to be socially liberal because of inclusion. You're not socially fucking liberal because you want this diversity crap that you claim where everyone thinks alike, but on the outside they look different. Oh, God. I mean, this is such ridiculous shit here. We have a situation where a comedian says something that not too long ago they would all agree with, that being gay is not a choice, and that it's hard for a black man. You know, you would think two things they were, in agreement with, being said in one sentence together would not be triggering. But hey, it is these days. It is ridiculous. It truly is. I mean, this is a situation where These people's parents should seriously get a phone call and be like, yeah. And I'm not condoning this, okay? Not at all. I'm not saying anyone should. But someone from the school or something like that, like on the note of the administration, should have called these people's parents and said, you know, your kids are emotionally stunted. You need to have a talk with them because this goes against the idea of learning and free speech to be a censorious piece of shit. Obviously, don't word it like that, but I think you get the idea, you know, because this is one of those situations where something like that needs to be done. These parents clearly weren't involved to the point of where they should have been with these fucking kids and waking the fuck up on shit, because this starts in the school systems, public schools. This starts there. And it just snowballs and stockpiles and keeps growing as they go through their education. And you end up where these idiots did. Anyway, I've covered this well enough. I'm just going to leave things here. If you liked this video, depending on where you are watching it, please give it an upvote or thumbs up. If you want to know when new content of mine hits the internet, don't forget to subscribe to one or more of my social media or video accounts listed here. Also, with YouTube, don't forget to ring that bell. You can find all of my video content on both BitChute and YouTube. This may not be the case with other places I upload to, but I will try to minimize this happening. You are always welcome to interact with me at any of these sites on the list, so feel free to do so. If you have anything you want me to cover in a video, when it comes to news or current events, send it right along to me. I will try to do my best to cover it. As always, thank you for watching.